Chapter 24. General Lessons in the Use of the Senses. It remains for me now to indicate the general rules for the use of the outer senses, to prevent the impressions they transmit from breaking up our moral and spiritual order. So listen. Above all, my brother, keep a most firm hold on those quick and wicked robbers, your eyes, and do not allow curious looks at the faces of women, whether they are beautiful or not, or at those of men, especially the young and beardless. Neither let them look at naked bodies, not only those of others, but also of your own. For such curiosity and lustful looking may easily give birth in the heart to passionate lust of adultery, which is not without guilt, as the Lord says, Whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her, hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. And some wise man wrote, Looking gives birth to desire. Solomon too warns us against being enticed by the eyes and wounded by lust for beauty. Lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. Here are some examples of the evil results of licentious glances. Sons of God, descendants of Seth and Enoch, were attracted by the daughters of Cain. Sechem, the son of Hamor the Hivite, saw Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and fell with her. Samson was captivated by the beauty of Delilah. David fell from looking at Bathsheba. 2 elders, judges of the people, were intoxicated by the beauty of Susanna. Beware also of looking with too much attention at rich food and drink, remembering our ancestress Eve, who looked with evil eyes at the fruit of the forbidden tree in the Garden of Eden, desired it, plucked and ate it, and so subjected to death herself and all her descendants. Do not look covetously at beautiful garments, silver and gold and glittering worldly attire, lest the passion of vanity and love of money enter your soul through your eyes. As David prayed, Turn away mine eyes from beholding vanity. I will say in general, beware of looking on dances, banquets, pageants, disputes, quarrels, idle chatter, and all the other unseemly and shameful things, beloved of the foolish world and forbidden by the law of God. Flee and close your eyes to all this, lest you fill your heart with passionate movements and your imagination with shameful images, and provoke in yourself an insurrection and battle against yourself, thus breaking the continuity of your progress in the struggle you must wage against your passions. But love to visit churches and look at the holy icons, sacred books, tombs, cemeteries, and other such good and holy things, the sight of which can have a salutary effect on your soul. You must guard too your ears. First of all, do not listen to shameful and lustful speech, songs and music, which fill the soul with fancies, render it dissolute, and fan the flame of carnal lust in the heart. Secondly, do not listen to noisy and laughter-provoking talk, empty and idle tales and inventions, and if you happen to hear them, do not enjoy or assent to them. It is unseemly for Christians to find pleasure in such talks, which delight only those depraved people of whom St. Paul said, And they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables. Thirdly, do not take pleasure in listening to gossip or criticisms, or the calumnies which some people spread about their brethren, but either stop them if you can, or withdraw, so as not to hear them. For St. Basil the Great considers as equally deserving of excommunication defamers and slanderers, and those who listen to them without trying to stop them. Fourthly, do not listen to vain and empty talk, which the majority of the world-loving people spend their time, and do not take pleasure in it. For the law says, Thou shalt not raise false reports. And Solomon says, Remove far from me vanity and lies. And the Lord said, But I say unto you, that every idle word that man shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. Fifthly, beware in general of listening to any words and speeches which may harm your soul, not the least of which is flattery and the praise of the flatterers, as Isaiah says, O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths. but love to hear divine words, sacred songs and psalms, and all that is good, holy, and wise, and profitable to the soul. Especially love to hear reproaches and abuse directed against yourself. Guard your sense of smell from luxurious perfumes, which may provoke carnal thoughts and impulses. Do not use them on yourself, do not anoint yourself with them, and do not breathe them in voluptuously and beyond measure. All this is suitable for bad women, but not for men who love wisdom, for it weakens the virility of the soul and provokes carnal passions and lusts, which may lead to downfalls. So the warnings of the prophet are thus often fulfilled in the case of men who use such stimulating perfumes. Woe to them that anoint themselves with the chief ointments. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell there shall be stink. Guard your palate and your belly, lest they are captivated by various sweet and fattening foods and inflaming aromatic drinks. For the effort to obtain all that you need for such pleasures of the table can lead you to lies, deceit, even theft, and many other enslaving passions and evil deeds. And when you have acquired the wherewithal for them and begin to enjoy them, they can cast you down into the moat of those carnal pleasures and bestial lusts, which are wont to act below the belly. Then you will fall under the strictures of the prophet Amos. Woe to them that eat the lambs out of the flock, and the calves out of the midst of the stall, that drink wine in bowls. Beware of gripping with your hands, squeezing and embracing a body, not only someone else's, whether a woman's or a man's, old as well as young, but also your own, especially unless there is absolute necessity. Do not touch certain parts. The more unlicensed is such touching, the more acute and lively are the carnal impulses of lust, and the more unrestrained their attraction of a man towards sinful action itself. And all the other senses back up the movement of lust, and in some way influence indirectly the committing of sin. But when a man reaches the point of touching what should not be touched, then it already is exceedingly hard for him to draw back from sinful action. To temptations of the touch refer also headdresses, garments, and shoes. So beware of adorning your body with soft, multicolored, and brilliant clothes, your head with rich headdresses, and your feet with costly shoes. All this is effeminate and unsuitable for man. But dress respectfully and humbly, satisfying the need to protect your body from cold in winter and heat in summer. Lest you hear the words addressed to the rich man who was clothed in purple and fine linen. Remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things. And lest the threat of the prophet Ezekiel refer to you. Then all the princes of the sea shall come down from their thrones, and lay away their robes, and put off their broidered garments. To the same category belong all the comforts of the flesh, such as frequent baths, to beautiful houses, soft carpets, costly furniture, soft beds, and lounging on them. Beware of all this, since it is dangerous to your chastity, and is the near cause of excitement of impure movements and impulses to carnal lusts and actions, lest you inherit the fate of those whom the prophet Amos threatens. Woe to them that lie upon beds of ivory, and stretch themselves on their couches. All that I have mentioned is the dust that the serpent, the tempter, was condemned to eat, and all this is food on which our carnal passions feed. So if you do not regard these things as unimportant and unworthy of attention, but if, on the contrary, you arm yourself courageously against them, and do not let them enter your soul and your heart through the senses, I assure you, you will easily exhaust the strength of the devil and the passions, since you will deprive them of the food upon which they thrive in you, and you will, in a short time, become a valiant victor in unseen warfare. It is written in the book of Job that the old lion perisheth for the lack of prey. This lion represents the devil, our constant enemy, who runs away from a man who gives him no food, since he has cut off and stifled all passionate movements, excited by the impressions of our outer senses. As a certain monk Jobias in the books of the patriarch Photius says, the devil resembles an antlion, since he always begins a man's ruin by first casting him into small sins, just as an ant is small, And then, when the man becomes accustomed to such small sins, he casts him into greater. So equally the devil at first seems as weak and small as an ant, and later he appears like a powerful giant, a great lion.